Guys, welcome to another video. If you are watching this, it is the day of the Kendra's Card Challenge hop, or one of them for the influencer team. So if you haven't popped over to Instagram, please do so. And let me just start out and say we are working on sketch number 2 from Kendra's Card Challenge 12. And first thing I'm going to do is stamp out my sentiment, and then we can start putting the card together. I want to talk a little bit about this really cool focal piece I made, but I am just going. Hey guys, this is Editing Jay. I actually wound up demoing the wrong card. This is actually a Christmas card, which you can watch the remainder of the video to see how that all plays out. But the hop was actually to make a thank you card. So that is what the final card looks like on screen, which is exactly the same layout, but I switched up the sentiment and did a couple other things differently. So definitely check it out on Instagram. To do that, and it says twinkle all the way. That worked pretty nicely. Just gonna get some of this ink off. I decided to go with Deck the Halls because it's a really nice sort of sprucey blue-green. It's a lot more of a green than a blue, but I thought it would work well with this, which is an ornament where I used a couple of Prickly Pear Stamps products to actually make I did some ink blending and then use the pine needle stamp, and then I used the coordinating die that goes with one of their ornament sets to basically make this ornament. And I don't know. Oh, you can see it on there. I used a little bit of icicle paste on it, so that it's really shimmery in real life, although less so on camera. Now that we have our sentiment, we can just sort of start putting things together. And I thought that because we kind of have this blue-green color scheme going on, a nice sort of blue-green card base would be good. And just grab our ATG gun, and we had some kind of oddity. I guess we will just, let me see if I can't pull that off quick. 'Cause I don't think it's not this card stock. It was just, stuck to the adhesive somehow. That is weird. The good news is no one will see this side of this card because it's going to be adhered down, but we do want to make sure that we don't, like, completely mess it up in any way. Or stick it to the card base, whatever. There we go. And I've said this before, but I think the eighth of an inch, or either a quarter or an eighth of an inch ATG is a lot easier to work with than this half inch for most of the stuff that I do. So definitely something I would recommend selecting rather than the half inch that I worked on. But at the end of the day, it all works out, and we just need to get this lined up. And then you can use a glue eraser. I just use my fingers most of the time, and that will just sort of get off any tape remnants. And these cards for Kendra's, I feel like you can do with either glue or ATG, but I don't know. With the large with the large ATG I currently have, glue has been a lot easier to deal with when it comes to some of the smaller pieces. There we are. I think that should be fine. Sort of get this down, and there we are. Again, come in with our glue eraser and get any little bits off that are here. Did pick a shimmer cardstock, which I don't know if that's reading particularly well, but I thought that would be good with our shimmery ornament. And then we'll just get this one down, and then I think everything else we may do with liquid glue. And since this is a pretty lightweight pattern paper, like you don't need a ton of ATG to hold this down. There we go. And the nice thing about it is that there's no dry time. So we kind of want to have these like this. There isn't really an inherent like you can sort of offset them like this if you don't like the little tops coming out too much. I think I'll do that. I kind of like that look. So all we need to do is put some more tape on this, pick off some of the larger bits. There we go. Now, since this is tape, we want to be a little careful because it's sort of like a once it's down, it's going to stay there. Um, let's just figure out how we want to do this. It should be fine. So I'm mostly keeping it within sort of this top frame of the card. And there we go. Get a couple little. There we go. Get a few little extra bits off. It's interesting. One of my teammates over at Prickly Pear was the one who started this whole got me really onto the trend of using these coordinating dies for things that aren't actually, cutting out stamps, which I really kind of like. I think it's kind of neat. Um, and then I think we can just do everything else with glue because I think it'll be much more straightforward. So I'm just going to grab my sentiment and put this down. So if you can hop over to Instagram and look at the hop, that would be pretty cool too. And we can sort of I like wet glue for especially sentiment strips just because it's really easy to sort of play around with them. We're going to have an ornament on this side, but we kind of want this centered. So I think about here is good. We're just going to put a little glue on the back of this. It's really mostly tacking it down. If you're really particular, you can, of course, put some extra layer of cardstock behind this. You could die cut this a second time and then just sort of cut out the pieces you want. But I'm just going to hold this down because I think this looks pretty neat. The original had a sentiment strip here and then had this as more of the focal point, but I kind of like the way our card came out today. So anyway, um, let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and check me out Sundays at 6 p.m. Central if you want to craft live. Or anyway, if you watch these videos and have questions or want something demoed, I'm more than happy to do that then too. So thanks for checking this out, and have a great rest of your day.